Good morning, students. Uh, Here today we'll discuss the chapter light. This channel is for the students who are appearing for the board exams and also want to clear the concepts of the chapter light. Okay, so step by step we'll start. So it is very sure that if you follow all the episodes continuously, then all the concepts of this chapter light will be clear to you. So now let us start. So first we will start the chapter light. So students, first we have to understand what is light. Light, if light gives us a sensation to see something. Okay, if no light is there, we cannot see anything. So light is one type of energy. Light is one type of energy that needs no medium to travel from one place to other place and give us a sensation to view something. So this is known as light. So suppose the light is coming from sun. In between the light is coming from sun. Sun is there, and suppose this is earth. The light is coming from sun to earth, but no medium is there in between earth and sun. But still the light is coming. That is the example where we can say that light does not need any medium to travel from one place to other place. So light is one type of energy. So what we can say as a definition of light? Light is one type of energy which can travel from one place to other place in a straight line. Always remember, light can travel in a straight line. So light is the energy which can travel from one place to other place without having any medium. Any medium is not required to travel and give us a sensation to view something. So that is known as light. So now we will start. Today's topic is reflection. Reflection of light. Reflection of light. Today's topic is reflection of light. Okay. So what do you mean by the reflection of light? Suppose light is traveling from air, and suppose this is a smooth surface. So if a light will fall on it, then a part of it will return back to the original medium. So this phenomenon of light is known as reflection of light. So when a ray of light incidents on a surface, suppose this is a surface x dash, okay, then suppose AB is the ray of light incidents on a surface x dash. So it will return back, because of this surface it will return back to its previous medium. What was the previous medium? Air. It will return back to its previous medium. So this is known as reflection. Reflection of light. So this is and always remember, you have to give the arrow sign which indicates the direction of light, from which to which direction the light is moving. Okay, so here the light is coming from this path and returning back to this path. So this ray is known as incident ray. Incident ray. This ray is known as incident ray. So what is incident ray? The ray which will fall on a surface from a medium is known as incident ray. This ray return back to its previous medium. This ray is known as reflected ray. Okay, this is known as reflected ray. And this is the incident ray, and this is the point at which the ray incidents. If we draw a perpendicular on it, then this will be the, suppose BO. This will be the perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence. The angle between the incident ray and the perpendicular is known as angle of incidence. And the angle between the reflected ray and the perpendicular, this angle, the angle between the reflected ray and the perpendicular is known as angle of reflection. Okay, so all of you have understood? Okay, what? This is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray, and this is the perpendicular drawn at the point of incident from the surface. Now the angle between the incident ray and the perpendicular drawn at the point of incident is known as angle of incidence, and the angle between the reflected ray and perpendicular drawn at the point of incident is known as angle of reflection. So up to this I think it is clear to you. So I am repeating once again. If a ray of light incident on a surface, then that ray is known as incident ray. When it will be returned back by the surface to its previous medium, then that will be known as reflected ray. If we draw perpendicular from the point of incidence on the surface, then the angle between the incident ray and the perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence on the surface is known as angle of incidence. And if we draw a perpendicular on the surface, then the angle between the reflected ray and the perpendicular is known as angle of reflection. So I think it's now clear to you. Now we will start the types of reflection. Next we will start the type of reflection. Next point will be types of reflection. Okay, so there are basically two type of reflections is there. One is known as regular reflection, and another is known as irregular or diffuse reflection. Irregular or diffused, both of them diffuse reflection. Okay, so you have to only memorize this. How many type of reflections are there? Two types. One is known as regular and is known as irregular reflection. Now we will learn in details about the regular and irregular reflection, and next we will learn the laws of reflection. So let us start. So how many type of reflections are there? Two types: regular reflection and irregular or diffused reflection. Clear? Now we will start regular reflection. First of all, first point is regular reflection. Regular reflection. Regular reflection. Okay. So regular, by the name we can understand that it should obey some rules and regulation. It will obey some rules and regulation. Regular reflection. Okay, regular reflection will obey some rules and regulation. Remember, if the surface is a smooth surface, some conditions are there for regular reflection. The surface should be smooth. The surface should be smooth. If there is a suppose a plane mirror, in plane mirror, if we see, the surface will be very smooth. So if there is a smooth surface and if a parallel beam of light, if more than one ray of light are there together, then that is known as beam of light. And if all the rays are parallel to each other, then that is known as parallel beam of light. All the rays are parallel to each other, so that is known as parallel beam of light. So suppose if a parallel beam of light, coming from, suppose air medium, if a parallel beam of light coming from air medium incident on a smooth surface, the surface is very smooth, it incidents on a smooth surface, then it will be reflected like this, it will be reflected like this, it will be reflected like this. So that means what? The reflected ray will move to a particular direction and all the reflected rays will also be parallel to each other. So this type of reflection is known as regular reflection. Okay, that means when a parallel beam of light will incident on a smooth surface, then after getting reflected by the surface, the reflected ray will also parallel to each other and they will move to a particular direction. So this type of reflection is known as regular reflection. That means it is obeying some rules and regulation. Okay, it is obeying some, here these are parallel, incident rays are parallel and reflected rays are also parallel. And from a particular direction or from a particular way the incident rays are coming, it will also move to a particular way. Okay, so this type of reflection is known as regular reflection. Clear? So when a parallel beam of light incident on a smooth surface, then after getting reflected by the surface, the reflected rays will also be parallel and they will move to a particular direction. So this type of reflection is known as regular reflection. Okay, what is the condition of regular reflection? The surface should be smooth. The surface should be smooth. Okay, in case of the rough surface, we cannot have the regular reflection. If the surface is rough, then second type of reflection will occur, that is irregular or diffuse reflection. Okay, so second type of reflection is what? Irregular or diffused reflection. Irregular or diffuse reflection. Okay, irregular or diffuse reflection. Okay, so suppose this is a rough surface. This is a rough surface. A parallel beam of light will fall like this. Okay, then after getting reflected, this will be the reflected ray, this will be the reflected ray, this will be the reflected ray. That means these three rays are incident rays, but these rays are reflected rays. So you can clearly see that the reflected rays are not parallel to each other, but it is scattering to all the directions. That means it is not obeying any particular rules like regular reflection. That's why it is known as irregular reflection. It is not obeying a particular rule like regular reflection. That's why it is known as irregular or diffuse reflection. So what is that? When a parallel beam of light incidents on a rough surface, then after getting reflected by the surface, the reflected rays are not parallel to each other, but it is scattering to all the directions. Okay, so this is not obeying to a particular rule. It is not following a particular rules. So this type of reflection is known as irregular or diffuse reflection. One popular question: why the movie screen? If you go to watch a movie in an auditorium, you see a movie screen. Okay, it is white and rough. Why the movie screen is white and rough? If this question comes, so what do we know? Rough surface or irregular surface or rough surface is responsible for diffused or irregular reflection. So the movie screen is made very rough. Why? Because the projector is there. When the projector, the parallel beam of light will fall on the movie screen. The parallel beam of light will fall on the movie screen. Now what will happen? If movie screen is very smooth, then what? Regular reflection will take place. So that means all the reflected ray will move to a particular direction. So inside the auditorium, from all the corners, the spectators cannot watch the movie. But as it is irregular reflection, that's why the reflected ray will scatter in all around the corner of the auditorium. That's why all the spectators or all the viewers can watch that movie. That's why it is made rough. Okay, it is not smooth. The screen of the movie is made rough. It is not smooth. And why it is white? Because white, we will discuss it later on. White color actually reflect all the 7 colors. That's why we can distinguish, or we can identify, or we can see all the different colors of the movie inside the movie properly or prominently. Clear? So that is why it will reflect all the colors. So we will learn it later on. Okay, so I think you have understood about the regular reflection and irregular or diffuse reflection. So regular reflection, smooth surface is required. Regular reflection, just like the reflection occurs when the plane mirror is there. Okay, when the plane mirror is there, so this is the regular reflection. And if the surface is rough, then that is known as the irregular or diffuse reflection. Clear to all of you? I think it's clear. Now regular and irregular reflection. One example is movie screen for irregular reflection. One example of regular reflection is the plane mirror. When the reflection takes place on a plane mirror, then that is the regular reflection.
One.
Now students, from this episode we have learned about what is light, what is reflection, how many type of reflections are there, two type of reflection, regular and irregular and diffused, and about them. I think you have now the idea about the regular reflection and irregular or diffuse reflection. Now the next episode we will learn about the laws of reflection, and I will give you an idea about the image. Then we will move step by step. So subscribe the channels, and next episode we will learn about the laws of reflection and images, okay, formed by the plane mirror or spherical mirror.